I've seen accomplishments.
Then my movie Pimpology. Yeah, you go to YouTube, type in Pimpology, and see Juvenile and Manufacturing.
Okay.
Baby, all of them. So Little Eugene, right?
Yeah, Little Eugene. Now right now.
So this is you, Artiste, right?
Yep.
So this is you using your father as your alias, right?
Correct.
But this I heard was a pretty good movie. How did you get financed? How did you raise the money to do it?
Actually, I did it on my own.
Oh, you self-financed?
Yeah. Work, save my money. Did all my own promoting. Traveled to Atlanta, Houston, LA, even Las Vegas. Let me sit up as a vendor, sell my books. Like I say, I still have that hustle in me, but it's a legit hustle. Instead of traveling to go pick up some work or drop off some work, I am the work now. Ain't no drop. I'ma stay on. And I'ma go push me to every city, every state, every block, every neighborhood, but in a positive way. You know?
So if you say Little Eugene and don't nobody know Little Eugene, how would they know what the movie's about? What is the movie about?
Okay. The movie is a true story of how I took a negative life and turned it into a positive life. In the first act, you're gonna see how my ordinary world of me just selling drugs, why I became a drug dealer, how my environment was an influence, and how basically you wouldn't nobody if you wouldn't hustle.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to feel like nothing. So I wanted to put that on the big screen. Let everybody know I've been there. Even from acting like I'm the man and I'm getting fronted. I gotta turn all this in. You know, been there and done that. And I wanted to help the youngsters out, or even if it ain't a youngster, that missing information they don't know about today. Because once you work for an individual, they can always hold that over your head. No matter how big I get, or anybody get, that individual can always say, he used to work for me. And if you can keep that from happening in your life, I feel like that's some good advice that I can give with individuals, because grabbing that bag for somebody else is almost just like selling yourself. You know, so that was another one of my downfalls. Hustling for the next man, making the next man rich.
Like once the movie got put together, traveling to LA and hustling with the book of history, what was that like?
Oh, overwhelming. I didn't think it would be a great turnout, but it was abundance of love shown to me. Being able, I can remember I was so determined to sell my books or get anyone interested. I was in the airport in Atlanta. I just started reading my book out loud, and it just drew a crowd. I just started reading it out loud, you know, and telling my story.
So was it self-published?
And Cleveland's publisher. No, I am a published author.
You got another book coming soon?
Oh yeah.
What's that book?
Now, the title of it is yet to be released, but I wanted to author for the University of Michigan. I just wrote a book for them.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. So that's going to be
lectures there too.
What's that?
You lecture the kids and stuff too.
Yes. I'm a mentor. I feed the homeless every week. Every week I feed the homeless. That's something I've been doing since 2013. I've fed over 5,000 people twice. I have 2 Fox News interviews about it with my own money. Not only did I do it with my own money, I cooked, delivered it, fellowship with them, everything. I fed over 5,000 people twice with my own money. And
you're doing a good job, bro.
I appreciate it.
So, if somebody wanted to help you, where can they find your books and your movies?
If they want to find my books and my movies, it's simple. One way to find it is Barnes and Nobles. ex-Leaders Publishing Company, Amazon, Walmart, Target, pretty much any online bookstore or online book website. And as far as my movie, you can go to my YouTube page, Art Relford. You go to Eugene the movie, you'll be able to view the movie. And right now, I'm currently back and forth to Atlanta. We're actually filming part 2 of Little Eugene on the set of Atlanta Housewives, and also I'm using Shaq's Kitchen. We're using Studio Space Atlanta, and also Encore Film in studios in Atlanta.
So, coming from the drug game, you know, when you on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on your nuts, everybody want to fuck with you, everybody think you the nigga and shit. And then all of a sudden, you know, you decide to change your life, want to do something positive. And people start rejecting you, and people start acting funny, and people don't want to help you. How did you deal with that? Rejection and shit?
I'm gonna be honest, and I remember asking somebody very, very close to me in a position to help. What I asked for ain't nothing. I thought the cat was my friend. I reached out to him. I even drew up a payment plan of how I would reimburse him. Because when my movie came out, I did have some investors on that as far as putting it in the movie to the kids. But I had one that backed out right at the end. So that's where the desperate need of reaching out for a favor from my so-called friend didn't even respond. So
how's your film doing now? I mean, I understand that part about the fans that bullshit. I do this every day. Right. But how's the film, your film projects and your future film projects coming?
Coming along good. This time, I'm not making the mistakes I made on the first project. And the mistakes I made on the first project, I was the writer, the actor, the director, the editor. I did everything.
Welcome to my world.
You know, and that didn't do too well. But the story was true. So with the message, and I learned this from you, take all my money, but don't take my game. But, and I always felt like that. When I heard you say that, I was like, wow. And that's how I always felt like I'm rich, but I'm not rich. Because I got this right here. I got my mind, and I know how to get it back.
So are you filming now?
What's that?
Are you filming currently today?
Oh, yes.
What state are you filming in?
Atlanta. Yeah. Atlanta. My movie is going to
be... I live in Atlanta, so you got to hook up with me when you come out there.
Come on now.
And, you know...
We locked in.
We got a lot of shit going on up there.
We got a lot. Yeah.
Go ahead, finish, girl. I'm sorry for y'all.
Yeah, in Atlanta. So 90% of the film is going to be filmed in Atlanta. I will be filming in Flint and Detroit. And my overall goal is just bring some more avenues or opportunities for like the artists we were talking about earlier, or anybody that's in Michigan that's a filmmaker or a rapper, any kind of artist. That's where your line of work would come in, that with the hip hop fraternity. You know, that was one brainstormer I was doing, like, wow. Because I also produced the album. Like I was saying, all the artists you was asking, I produced my own soundtrack, and I'm the executive producer of it. And I tried to bring all the artists that I felt like either was competing against each other or just wouldn't come together as unity. And I made that project work, and it worked out well. Now I want to revisit that.
Okay, we know a lot of Europeans, you know, I'm a Moorish American, so I might say European, but most people say white people. You know, ain't no such thing as a white man. You know, that's something they made up in their lexicon. But as a, I don't want to call you Moorish American, but as a descendant of Africa, how did your identity as a descendant of Africa or as a black man shape your storytelling?
I would say the culture. My culture that my environment. That helped bring that visual to the screen. Because like I say, I didn't leave anything out. I put my bad and my good, my habits, everything on screen. I'm storing cocaine all through the movie, you know, and the culture, that drug life, that environment of the women, that's what pretty much made me feel like I would be good telling my story and giving that vision.
Want to use the game?
Oh, I want the game.
Well, you know, I wrote 2 books for the biggest publishing companies in the world. Pimp Out Before They Lost the Game, Pimp, you know, and The Art of Human Check. And if you notice, those are parodies. Before They Lost the Game, Before They Lost the Power. The Art of War, The Art of Human Chess. So when people type that up in Google, those SEOs, those algorithms automatically pull my book with that book.
Just off the act.
Yeah, so most African American authors, most Moorish American authors don't know this crucial point. It's a place called Barnes and Noble. You heard of it, right?
Yeah, that's where all my books are.
You heard of books. You heard of Books a Million, right?
Yeah, that's my books.
Well, what they do to keep African Americans in a certain category, they got the African American category. But if you notice, all my books is titled self-help. So when you go in the bookstore, you see me next to Robert Greene, Kiyosaki, Zig Ziglar, and that's why my books were selling so well, because I was next to high-selling books. And I told Simon & Schuster, you know, when we was in negotiation, I said I want to use this, and they didn't understand what I was doing, but you know, I was kind of internet savvy back then. I used to be on the internet. I had www.putthekin.net.
Right.
So I was dealing with SEOs, and I know that, you know, that 48 laws of game, or just the word 48 laws, will put me in their search engine, right?
Right.
And that's how I was selling so many books. But I kind of gave my publisher the game in real time, because I had to save my life. I did not want to be back there with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. That's the chilling circuit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I call it the chilling circuit of Barnes and Noble. And a lot of African American authors don't understand that. And I hope watching this, you know, that they can say that. But that was my game. But I want to ask you, what kind of game can you give to authors and filmmakers?
Advice I give them is like this. First of all, you gotta write. You gotta write